Hello, Shmoji here. What if I told you that the character you play in Elder Scrolls Online is a Daedra? Oh wait, that's exactly what I said in the last video. Well, I take that back. I wouldn't say the Vestige is exactly a Daedra, but you are very close to being one. In order to understand why, you need to learn about souls and what a Paragon Vestige is. Before I start, I would like you to know that most of what I will explain comes straight from in-game text and dialogue. However, some of it is my own conclusions drawn from the lore, where they left holes for us to fill. I don't want to waste time by pointing out every single time I'm talking about cold hard facts versus my own conclusions, so I will leave the resources in the description for you to figure that out on your own. So, how does souls work in the Elder Scrolls universe? First, I'll explain this, and then tell you how it relates to being a Daedra. Well, there are two parts to a soul. There is the energy part called the animus. This is what Daedric princes want. And there is the identity part, which doesn't have a name. Some say that this part of the soul is named the morphotype, and it kinda matches up with in-game text, but morphotypes seem to be more related to the formation of a body. Alternatively, some think the identity part of the soul is called AE, but probably pronounced a bit differently than that. I'll let you research that on your own, because it seems a bit abstract to me. I am just going to call it the identity part of the soul. Now that you know this, it will be much easier to understand what a vestige is, and why you're maybe possibly kinda a Daedra. In the beginning, you are sacrificed to Molag Bal by Mannimarco. Your animus is stored into a soul gem and taken away. The identity part of your soul is combined with a Daedric animus, which is called a vestige, as you learned in the last video. After they combine, your new body is formed in Cold Harbor using Azure Plasm. Meanwhile, your old body is possibly walking around as some kind of violent soulless creature in Tamriel. With most mortals, they become a typical soul shriven at this point. Their identity is not native to Oblivion, so their body is not a perfect copy and experiences rapid decay until eventually they die and restart the process of forming a new, terrible body. However, the vestige that we play as is different because this hero is something called a Paragon Soul Shriven, or a Paragon Vestige. This individual contains an intrinsic Anuic aspect, binding them to Nirn even when their original animus is missing. Sometimes your mortal animus is called an Anuic animus, so it seems that somehow the identity part of your soul also contains this Anuic property, which is rare. Because of this, the vestige gets a perfect copy of their original body and doesn't decay as fast. Sky shards also help with keeping connected to Nirn, of course. It is speculated that in the event that Mundus was in existential danger, the Heart of Nirn would spontaneously generate these Paragon individuals as a way of defending itself from destruction, in a manner analogous to the way the mortal body fights off infection. I found that really interesting because that basically gives a lore explanation for why all of us came to ESO. Nirn was in trouble, and we were spontaneously brought to defend it from destruction. Alright, so spoilers ahead if you have not finished the main storyline. After defeating Molag Bal, you get your soul, your Anuic animus back, and this makes you more rare than even a Paragon Vestige. Some think that this means you are basically a Daedric Lord now. I'll explain why. So, as I said earlier, the body you are using after being sacrificed is a completely new body formed from Azure Plasm in Cold Harbor. But now you have your soul back. Plus, you maybe still have your Daedric soul too. If you do still have your vestige, then anytime you die, you will just instantly reform your Daedric body back when in contact with Azure Plasm, making you immortal. The barrier between Mundus and Aetherius is thin at way shrines, and some say that you can respawn there because you're an immortal Daedra. But, I don't know, I see it as more of a MMO thing outside of lore. Even if you didn't keep the Daedric soul, You are now a fully mortal soul with a Daedric body, so who knows how that works when it comes to mortality. I hope I explained everything in a simple manner. To end this, I'm going to leave you with a quote from the Lore Master's Archive by Lyrinth the Fool Killer. 9 of every 10 of your words are folly and blather. Typical mortal. Vestiges. They are vulnerable, malleable, corruptible. Place no trust in your perception of a Daedra, for mortal vision is unreliable and all is temporary. If you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to like and subscribe. In the description of the video is the ESO lore Discord for talking about Elder Scrolls, lore, and life. Also in the description is the shmoji Patreon for those interested in supporting the channel. Until next time, adventurers,